We're about to jump into today's podcast, but before we do, I have a favor to ask you. If you listen to this podcast weekly on Apple or Spotify, could you please follow the show? That would be so appreciated. I'm so grateful for your time and your energy because this will help the show get more traction, which means more people can benefit from it. And if you would be so kind, if you're on Apple Podcast, to leave a review, it would so help the show out. Thank you so much for your support. Let's start the show. We're going down memory lane in the past 10 years since I had this crazy idea to start AcuPro Academy. I am going to share behind the scene, the raw, the real, and everything that happened in the last 10 years and so many things I've never shared before. So you get a glimpse of what it looks like to be creating all this content, to have the good, the bad, the very bad, and the amazing that comes with staying online for 10 full years. I'm also going to share what happened a few years ago when I almost walked away from it all. I will also talk about what's in the future for all of you because AcuPro Academy could not exist without your support. You are a TCM rockstar, and I'm so glad you are here to listen to this today. You are going to love this episode because I don't want it to make it just about me. I created this online platform to truly help people, support students and practitioners. So I want this episode to also be useful. I want to share some actionable tips for burnout, time management, and your practice or your studying if you're still in school. I just want to make sure that you get something out of it because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your years of support. Let's start at the beginning. When I decided I was going to open a Facebook page for my students to help support the TCM learning journey, it was just that. I started a Facebook page. I needed to give it a name. So I thought acupuncture professionals, AcuPro. Then we're going to call it Academy because I'm teaching. So why not, right? In 2014, I started posting daily on Facebook. And within a few weeks, I realized that not only my students were benefiting from my post, but people I didn't know from all around the world were commenting and saying, wow, this is awesome. Can you please do this? Can you please do that? And asking me for help. And I realized, first of all, that TCM has no boundaries and that the internet has the ability to connect us all when we are passionate about Chinese medicine. So I slowly started on Facebook and I started on YouTube as well in 2014. In all those first few videos, I never showed my face. I used cartoon. I used software. At the time, I think I used Adobe to make little cartoon videos because I was so scared. I was scared of showing my face, first of all, because I thought, well, I don't have straight teeth. I don't look great. I don't know how to stand on camera. I feel awkward. I don't know how to do this. I'm really scared. And another thing too that I wanted to share that we all suffer from is the imposter syndrome. Before I started, I really struggle with pushing the publish button because I was thinking my peers, my colleagues, they're all going to look at me and say, who does she think she is? And fair enough. I did a 5-year doctorate, but what do I know more than someone that did a 5-year doctorate in TCM as well? Nothing. It's just that I really wanted to help. However, I was really scared and I was worried about the trolls, about people criticizing me, judging me, telling me, who do you think you are? What are you doing? In the end, it was such a waste because yes, there are trolls and yes, there are moments where negativity comes my way, but 90% of the time, which is so important, is all positive. And the impact this platform has made in the last 10 years has continued to fuel my passion for TCM and to share it online because I'm all about making it easy to grasp and fun to learn. One comment I had on one of my Facebook posts a few years ago was a practitioner saying, you're making fun of TCM. This is so wrong. And my answer was, no, I'm making TCM fun. This is so right. Because that's the idea, right? So obviously I'm not going to please everybody. I'm not going to appeal to everybody. And that's okay. My goal is to help people that are visual, right? So when I started on Facebook, I posted every day for 10 years. The only time I did not post was when my mom passed away in 2018, I had to fly to France to arrange the funeral. And for 3 days, I did not post. The reason I'm sharing this is because suddenly there was so many DMs asking me what was wrong, because I had never missed a post at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time from Vancouver. I posted every day since 2014. And so 4 years later, when I missed 3 days, people were really concerned. And it showed me the support and the love that I continue to receive for so many of you. So I learned to schedule all my posts in advance. So when things go not the way I plan, then everything is set to make sure that everyone is served every single day on Facebook. Now, I also did this on YouTube. I posted a video every week on YouTube since 2014. However, I took a break for about a year and a half where I posted maybe 5 videos in a year. This is talking about time management. We have to schedule our posts. We have to batch content. We have to repurpose content. If you are on social media, please do so. Go back 6 months and look at your post or whatever you posted that was really popular. Repost it. So many people haven't seen it. Purposing is my favorite thing to do because I can't continue to create new content every 2 minutes. It's not possible, right? We have so much time in our hand. So I batch content, which means I create everything at once, and then I make sure that it's scheduled so I don't worry and I don't feel stressed about it. For example, this podcast, when we started it in January, yes, it has been 6 months anniversary of the podcast, and thank you so much. 30,000 downloads. I am blown away by your support. Thank you all. This has just been so cool to see that people are not just visual, but they really like to listen as well. So thank you for that. So 6 months ago, when we started the podcast, I recorded 8 episodes in November and December. So I wasn't going to be stressed by last minute ideas, last minute podcasts, last minute recording, right? A few years ago, I've truly burnt out. I was teaching TCM at 2 different colleges. I was having a full-time busy practice 4 days a week using 2 treatment rooms. So I would see about 15 patients a day. I also owned a multidisciplinary wellness center with 15 people working in it, practitioners, assistants, and receptionists. So that took a lot of my time. On top of it, I had AcuPro Academy, and I was creating content and courses and posts and free videos and hours of my time. One day I was walking to work and I couldn't breathe. I was trying to walk and I was feeling so tired. Taking a step was so difficult. I could feel the burnout. So I went to the naturopathic doctor that was working in our clinic and I said, we need to do some tests. Something's not right with me. My iron went down to 4. This is literally so dangerous that I could have dropped dead of a heart attack. Yes, when your iron is that low or your ferritin levels are below 9, it is actually dangerous because there's not enough blood being pumped from the heart. So this really was critical. And so I had to make a choice. Do I give up AcuPro Academy? But I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And I help so many people via the platform all over the world, right? I can't give up my practice. I love treating patients. So what I decided to do is I dropped one of the college that I was teaching out and kept the one that was closer to me and that made more sense for time management. Then I went from 4 days a week to 3 days a week in my clinic. And as the owner of the wellness center, I delegated way more because my problem is I want to control everything. I can do everything better than everybody else. Are you that person too? Oh my gosh. So I learned that delegating is a good thing. Duh. It took my health going down for me to learn this. And so I continue to provide content on AcuPro Academy, but I was very close to just walking away because I was so exhausted. But I just managed my time better. Now, what's interesting is for years, people have said to me, oh, hi, AcuPro team, can you do this for me? And I get emails or DM. And then I reply and people said, I can't believe you're replying. Don't you have a team? And I was like, no, it's me creating everything, blog posts, courses, content, graphics, creating all this is just me until this year. 2024 is when I decided to hire an assistant because it was coming to the point where I wanted to give you more. I wanted to create more, but I couldn't. It was not possible. Time-wise, I have so many hours in the day. You have the same amount of hours as I do. So I hired someone to help me so I could start the podcast. There was no way I could have done the podcast without this beautiful soul. You know who you are, my girl, my assistant, who really behind the scenes since January has been helping me completely with uploading the podcast and helping me scheduling all my content. She is a true gem and I'm so happy she's able to help me because she totally understands Chinese medicine and how I work and provide content. She totally rocks. Let's talk about the bad. I talked about the imposter syndrome and the fact that I started on Facebook and I saw the response and it fueled my desire to continue. I also started on YouTube. Then Instagram came around and people kept asking me, why don't you go on Instagram? And I'm like, I don't have the time. It's too much. But people kept asking. And so I went on Instagram and let go of my imposter syndrome and decided to go fully online with my face, my French accent, and my crazy, quirky personality. I just wanted to be honest, to be me, and have fun online while supporting all the TCM rock stars all around the world. That was so liberating. Do not let the imposter syndrome stop you from serving your audience, from helping patients, from creating content that educate the world so you in turn can get busy in your practice and can truly provide a bridge of understanding what we do, how we do it, and how we can help patients. You know me, I'm all about changing the world one patient at a time. By the way, I bet you don't know this, but 10 years ago, I started the hashtag acupuncture rocks, and now it has thousands and thousands of posts and videos with acupuncture rocks. I remember when I was doing all my videos, they were 2 minutes long, little cartoon videos. I would always say at the end, acupuncture rocks, acupuncture rocks. And one person sent me this message. She said, my 6-year-old is listening in the background while I'm studying and watching your videos. And he's walking around my kitchen going, acupuncture rocks, acupuncture rocks. That made my day. Let's talk about how I record over and over and over, and I make so many mistakes, and I constantly struggle on video and have to do so many retakes. People think I just stand there, speak, and it's over. No. A 30-second reel can take me sometimes half an hour to record because I stumble on my words all the time, even after 10 years. When I record something like a 30-minute YouTube video, it literally takes me 2 hours. I stumble, I retake. I'm like, no, that's not what I want to say. This is what I want to say. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? I can't speak. Often people think that, a 30 minutes video took me 30 minutes. However, it takes me about 12 to 15 hours. Yes, between recording, editing, adding bells and whistles, uploading it, writing the description, creating a blog post, creating a thumbnail, making sure that everybody is aware about it. So scheduling it on all social media, making sure that everybody on my email list gets the notification that there is a new video so they can really, truly benefit from it. All this takes about 12 to 15 hours. 99% of you are so loving. Every day I see you. I see the comments, the love, the like, the share, the save. This always helps me. What's interesting is I know so many people support me by just commenting, by sharing, by liking, and that makes me super happy. Other people support me by buying my books or courses. And then there are people that don't say anything, just watch, don't subscribe, don't leave comments. And often I feel like I hope they benefit from it. And I hope that one day they do connect with me and leave a comment. And sometimes I feel like people are so used to free content online that they're not very grateful for it. Often I get people demanding, give me the protocol for diabetes. Create a video on this. Do this, do that. I'm like, who raised you? You could ask nicely. And I have no problem answering you and giving you what you're looking for. However, when you demand, it makes me feel like you don't respect my time, my knowledge, and my experience. And that I have such a hard time with. I struggle with that. My husband's like, let it go. Who cares about people that are demanding? But I really have a hard time with it. So this is the sensitive part of me that struggles online when there is negative comments. I had someone really attacking me on my DM on Instagram a few months ago. And if you had seen that story I shared, I cried for 20 minutes. And after that, I recorded myself saying, sometimes it's hard to be on social media, and I'm sending you love if you struggle on social media because it's not easy. And I hesitated in publishing it because I thought people are going to think, oh, she's asking for attention. But I just wanted to share and hope that it was helping somebody else. What I didn't expect is I received 647 DMs from all of you, full of love, full of so much love. I was humbled and I answered every single one of you. I truly was flabbergasted by this response. And I realized that a lot of people are quiet and they may not connect all the time, but in the end, they are there, they are watching, and they are grateful for all the amount of hours I spend online. So thank you, because I do see you. All of you, I see you every single day, and your support means the world to me. It really, truly makes me want to continue for the next 10 years. In 2019, I noticed so many people asking me to create a book because I had all those graphics about the acupuncture point that I kept creating. And everybody kept saying, why don't you create a book? Why don't you create a book? But I don't know how to write a book. I'm not an author. I'm not a writer. I'm French. How am I going to write a book? But people kept asking. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should try it. I'll do a digital version, see if that's interesting to people. And when I look back, I had created already 162 graphics for points. So I was done about halfway of all the points I could create. Then I put my head down and I started every single day, created more graphic and started on this book. It took me 2 years and I decided to put it out there. And although I was very proud of it, my husband helped me edit it 7 times. We went through 800 pages 7 times to make sure everything was correct. And there still was mistakes after I published it. There was 2 mistakes that I had to change that someone noticed right away. So this is never perfect. And if you're looking for perfection in yourself, it's impossible. Remember, we can do our best. Perfection is not what we're looking for. We're looking to do our best, right? So when I launched this book, I remember sending an email to people, posting on social media and saying, hey, you asked for it. Here it is. I hope it's useful to you. And people started buying it. And it was just a digital version. And people started asking for a copy of a real book. And eventually I did that 6 months later. But what was interesting is people started buying the digital version. And every day people bought one. Every single day I woke up with massive anxiety. I had to get acupuncture so often that week because I felt all those people that bought the book probably hate it. And they all going to come back and say, it's horrible. Give me my money back. This is terrible. It's so bad. And for some reason, I really thought people would not enjoy it and would hate it. I had this massive fear that it was a disaster. See how I don't have it all together. I am not perfect. And I have anxiety like everybody else because I don't know what could happen. But the opposite came true. So many people send me DMs and email telling me this is so incredible. It's so useful. And that was from students, but also from practitioners. It blew me away. And I realized that I cannot let fear stop me. I need to continue to support everyone and create more. So I ended up creating, after AcuPoint Made Easy, Chinese Medicine Made Easy, and Chinese Medicine Treatment Made Easy. What's in store is I'm working on a herbal book. This is a beast of a book. And oh my gosh, it's taking me a long time. So don't be too much in a hurry, but I'm working on it. It's all about being passionate which I am about TCM, consistency, showing up day in and day out, and having grit, because sometimes it's not easy, right? Because sometimes it's not easy. But this TCM community always comes through. Every time someone steals my content, someone sees it and will come and tell me in my DMs. Yep. So I've had people stealing my graphics, post them at their own, post their logo over my logo, but people will come and tell me. So I try to get to those people. And if it's on Facebook or Instagram, I will tell them, please take it down. I'll be nice at the beginning. When they refuse and they block me, I can't do anything about it. So I go to Instagram or Facebook and I tell them what's going on, and they don't take it down, which is interesting because YouTube actually does. When you tell YouTube someone just stole your content, they go and take it down. So YouTube rocks, way better than Facebook and Instagram. Meta, Zuckerberg, you got to do better. Now, the other thing that happened is someone came and said to me, I found your book online from another country and they're selling it under your nose. And I was like, what? So I went to this website and sure enough, someone bought my digital version of AcuPro Made Easy and decided to sell it online. This is a problem when it's a PDF. Anybody can steal it. This is why I always ask people, please, I work so hard for it. Please do not give it away or sell it, which is even more unethical. So I had to hire international lawyers to get this person to take it down because it was not in North America. And now I have to have a lawyer on retainer that I have to pay every time someone is unethical and steal my content to sell it or to show it as their own, which is so wrong. I have many people that have asked me, hey, can I use a few of your graphics? I'm doing a presentation for a school for my patients. Absolutely no problem with that. Specifically, if you mention the source, AcuPro Academy, that's all you have to do. This is the ethic way. I want to share my content with the world. I post it on social media all the time, right? But it has to be done in a way where it's credit where credit is due. Yes? Okay. I hope you get me on that. I think a misconception is people think that being online is free. Well, first of all, it's time, which is not free because time is valuable specifically. Experience is super valuable. When you charge $100 for your acupuncture session or whatever you are charging not for your time for that hour. You are charging for your years of experience and the amount of money and time you spend in school in order to do what you're doing. So remember that when you feel bad about charging whatever it is you're charging, you're not charging for that hour. You're charging for years investing into your education and your experience. This is very key and important in practice, specifically if you feel like you have a hard time asking for patients to rebook. To be online costs a lot of money. The equipment itself is really expensive. First of all, a camera. A microphone. My camera is worth $1,000. My microphone is worth $1,000. It's not free to be able to do a podcast that has good sound. When I first started the podcast, it was very echoey because I didn't have the right mic. So I had to invest more money in it. The camera I've had for about 2 years, and it's really making a difference in the clarity of my videos on YouTube. Now we also have to pay for hosting platform. When I put my course somewhere, when you buy any of my course, they have to be on the platform where you can watch them. That costs money every single month. The website costs money. As you know, websites are not free. The email provider, when I send you an email, when I have so many people to send an email to, that has to come from a provider. That provider has to be paid monthly. The podcast hosting, for me to put my podcast on Apple and Spotify, it's not free, right? Then the regulatory college approved fees. For example, my courses are approved by colleges all over the world. In the States, the NCCOM, for example, charges me every year for all the course that I have on my platform. And California will charge money, and all this will cost a lot of money. And people have no idea. Now, I also use software to help me edit. I use CapCut. If you use CapCut, it is the best software for recording and editing on your phone or on your PC. This is a free software, so I love it. I use Descript for my podcast and my videos to help with all the retake I have to do. So that's not free. I have to pay for that. I use ManyChat, which if you've been on my Instagram and I tell you to post a word in the comments. So I say, post the word exam, and I'll send you the link in your DM to the Acu Exams Made Easy PDF. If I ask you to do that, you will write down exam and you will get the link in your DM. Now I have 400 people writing down exam and I have to DM each of those people. It would take hours of my time to do this. Well, there is a software called ManyChat that is perfect for that. It's not that expensive. It's about $25 a month, but it allows me to ask you for a word and for you to get the link in your DM. So that way I can send you the link directly and you can watch the new YouTube video or the new podcast. It's so much more time efficient and our time has no value. I will put all the links to all the software that I use and equipment that I use in the show notes so you can check them out. In the show note, I will have the link to 2 new videos I published this week as well. One is a acupuncture song that I created. You can see it on my YouTube channel. I'll have the link below and you can share it anywhere you want on your website, embed it on your website. This will be such a great way to introduce people to acupuncture. I hope you really like it. Share it with the world because this showcased the amazing benefit of acupuncture with a song. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your comments below that video on YouTube. I also created a video of a timeline for 10 years of AcuPro Academy, and it is on the YouTube channel. Being online for the last 10 years has opened so many doors and connected me to so many of you and so many TCM rock stars all around the world. In the AcuPro Show, we've had so many guests that are unbelievable and shared so much wisdom in the last few months. And I have so many new guests coming your way in the next few months. You are going to love all of them. The other thing it did is it opened doors for me to teach all over the world live. I went to India twice and taught 36 doctors both time, and it was an amazing experience. I went to teach in the Netherlands, the UK, Austria, and next year, I probably will come and teach in France. Oh my gosh, in French as well. By the way, I started a YouTube channel and a Facebook account, AcuPro en français, for my French TCM rock stars. Because right now, I am trying to translate my first book, Acupoints Made Easy, in French. And it is so difficult because I have to say that the TCM language in French is very difficult. But the goal is to have it done by the fall. So if you're listening to this and you're French and you would love to have a French version, it's coming your way. I'll have the link to the YouTube and Facebook account below as well if you wanted to check it out if you speak French. I wanted to read you something from Patrick, who is someone in the Netherlands I met when I was teaching in May and who is such a sweetheart. He said, "A decade already. Congratulations on your work anniversary. You've changed the life for so many aspiring acupuncturist students and practicing acupuncturists and made our lives so much easier with your awesome videos, courses, posts, and books. You can look back and be proud of what you have achieved." Oh my God, Patrick, that made my day. I have to read you something from Brad as well. He says, "I highly recommend getting all 3 books. I can't tell you how many times they have been referenced in my practice of acupuncture and TCM. They are very well put together, fun to read, and if you're a visual learner, you'll find it easier to absorb the information faster than reading the usual dry textbook material. Made Easy are the books they should be using in college." That gave me shivers because when I was in college, I felt like we were missing a lot of support. And if I can support students and practitioners with the content I create, with the books, with the courses, then that's it. I'm happy. This gives me wings to continue to provide more and more. This is why I brought on guests teachers because people kept asking about cosmetic acupuncture and I don't do cosmetic acupuncture. So I brought on Rebecca, and people kept asking for scalp acupuncture. So I brought on Sonia, and Jetta came in with a powerful thyroid course, which is so prevalent in clinical practice. And now we're continuing to bring more and more. Rebecca has now a musculoskeletal course, and Sonia is coming up with the tan balance method in the fall. She is going to rock your world with that one, because I know many of you want to learn the Dr. Tan's balance method. Well, it's coming your way. Woohoo! Here's another one that made my day. Clara, thank you for your Acu exam. It's excellent. It's just what I needed. I will tell everyone in my class. Oh my gosh, you guys, this makes me cry sometimes. Here's another one about the podcast. I just wanted to say that I came across your podcast the other day while stuck in traffic. I recently started acupuncture and fell in love with TCM and decided that I wanted to start studying it. Absolutely love your podcast, and it makes me more excited about it each day. Thank you. This is exactly why I do what I do. This person is now going to go back to school and change the world one patient at a time, like you are doing right now. This is awesome. I love it. Here's another one that made my day. I have to share those because this is just so fabulous. You are my TCM guru. You have transformed acupuncture learning to a level of amazing fun. One podcast episode with you is like learning years of practice. Thank you for all your wonderful work and support. So what's the future of AcuPro Academy? I want to bring you more guest teachers. I am working on 2 courses, ear acupuncture and menopause, and also on Chinese medicine, herbal book. Those are my next 3. I'm also continuing to creating video for my YouTube channel. Yes, I am coming with the bladder meridian, 67 points. I haven't recorded it yet. This is the last one of the 12 regular meridian, and I will do the do and the ren. They are coming. I promise you, and so much more. I am going to do a lot more master classes as well. Short 90 minutes master classes where you can come and ask me questions live on a subject that we will choose in advance. So for example, in August, I am going to have a master class on how to treat headaches effectively using TCM. It will be live 90 minutes, including some Q&A. So you can participate and I can help you and support your learning. And the second masterclass in August will be on how to master TCM diagnosis. Yes, live, we are going to rock it together. Now, if you are listening to this podcast after August 2024, both replay will be available in my website. All you'll have to do is go to AcuProAcademy.com and click the shop tab on the menu bar to access the replay of those masterclass. I hope this episode truly showed you the behind the scene, the real difficulty of being online, the time it takes, but also the amazing reward, because that's why I continue to do this. I wanted to thank you so much for spending your time today with me, for your love, your support, your comments, your share, your like, your DMs, your emails, and for being you. You have no idea how much you mean to me, how much your words, your kindness mean to me. I am so grateful for this TCM community of rock stars that I started 10 years ago, didn't know where it was going to take me, but you have made it what it is today. We're going to keep rocking it for the next 10 years. Have a fantastic day. Make sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Please listen to the disclaimer, because the AcuPro Show Podcast and material shared through AcuPro Academy, which is a subdivision of Natural Health Sense Incorporated, are designed solely for educational and entertainment purposes. The utilization of information from this podcast or any associated material is at the user's discretion and risk. This content is not meant to replace the guidance of an acupuncturist, Chinese medicine doctor, medical doctor, physician, or any qualified professional, nor is it a substitute for proper diagnosis or treatment. Users are strongly advised not to ignore or postpone seeking medical advice for any existing medical condition with their healthcare professional regarding any health concerns.